Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do actual surveillance. So we're going to open a browser. I'll open Firefox, and we go to Google. So we'll go to our Google. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually enter an actual search. So what we're going to do is in title. So in title is the actual search techniques. And see how it's coming up and give us index of? You want MP4, you want AVIs, MP3s, a lot of different things we can do. But what we want to do is we want to type in index of, so index dot of parent directory. Okay, so what are we doing here? We're actually looking for index of a parent directory. Evil hacking, hacking mania. So what this is why I show you this is because of what's happened is Google hacking, because it's known as a hacking type technique. When you do the Google hacking now and you do the in title searches, you will actually have information come back of hackers. So you got to be careful when you do this, because the hackers will actually trick you into going to their different sites. So now what you're doing is when you look is you're looking for anything that looks like different types of things. And you see here's an actual index of parent directory, right? Different types of things. So it shows you how to find different things. So if you look at Google hacking for penetration testers, this is actually, it comes from this book, and it tells you how to use the index of command and different things like that. So this is what happens now when you do Google hacking. Okay? You got to be careful of. So if we do another Google search, so let's go back to our Google display, and we do a semicolon in title colon index.of name size. And now what we're going to do is try to do a combination of queries to see what's returned. Now, parent directory size, this shows us index of parent directory. So again, we're looking at different types of things. So what do we find here? We usually find the actual index of our parent directories. So different things we can do. And this shows you different things you can find on the internet when you do different types of searching. So what we look for is actually anyone that's going to give us information of files, and there we go. There we go. So you have to get through the chaff because so many people's been doing Google hacking around there. But now what we found is an index of all these files at this site. Now, if you're testing the site for a client, you just want to get the results for this in a red team environment and say, hey, these are what we discovered. What can you discover here? A lot of people leave things here that probably shouldn't be here. We've discovered password files, bank account details, pretty much everything you can think of we have discovered, okay? So let's try another command. So we go back to our Google hacking search, and we shrink this back down, and we do an index.of, which is just an advanced search. So we go index.of, and what we're going to do now is we're going to do server.at. And now, so we're finding more information about the different web servers, and this is different things you can find. So what are you looking for? We're looking for actual server information. You usually got to go past the first page now to look at anything because a lot of this has been documented and people start protecting now. So these are what we're looking for, is the different types of things using the traditional Google hacking techniques. Do you remember how do we actually look up different things? Well, what we look up is we look up a domain. So say you've been hired to test a domain. So you do your in-title, right? In-title, colon, index.of, server.at, and let's say you've been hired to look up AOL. Make sure you don't make a typo. And there you go. So now I've got a parent directory from AOL. So this is actually a pool directory from AOL that has information in it. Is it supposed to be public information? I don't know. I'm not paid to test this. Another thing is they're running Debian. See this down here? They're running a Debian server on Ubuntu, and it's running on port 82 instead of port 80, trying to do a little bit of obfuscation. But in the internet, nothing's obfuscating. Nothing hides. So these are the types of things we can do. Excuse me. Let's try another one. Let's do in-title, index.of. We've done those, so let's try this one. And what we're going to do, we're going to do in-title, welcome. So we do a welcome to in-title, colon, internet dot IIS. And if all goes well, make sure we didn't make a typo here. So let's see, welcome to in-title, let's see. Let's see, it's probably got to be quoted is my guess. Always trial and error with these things. Internet.iis, that part's right. In-title's right. In-title colon, and we'll try it. No, we're not getting anything on that. Let's see, that's a colon. So let's see. Welcome to in-title. Well, let's just try this. Let's try in-title. There we go. Everybody's got some Internet IIS. There's 7.5. There's configuration services. So a lot of different information about that. Okay, so different things we can get. But another way to do it with the Shodan tool, and as we showed, the Shodan tool might be a better option there. Okay, so let's look at Shodan now. Shodan's a little bit more modern on this. So if we go to Shodan again, hq.com, and log in. It's worth registering. It's free. Log in and search directory. And let's say we want to find some type of thing. So we can look up some different things. We want HTTP. So let's go look for HTTP. So we click on HTTP, routers with default info, voice over IP phones, no authentication, some cool stuff we can do. iPads, you want to find some iPads, there's a bunch of those, Cisco devices, right? Wind web server, right? Ruby on Rails. So a lot of different things we can do in our search engines. And how about this? Should we ever see an IIS 4.0 web server on the internet today? Probably not. We're up to, I believe, IIS 8. Maybe IIS 9, I can't remember, I lose track. Okay, so what we do is we click on this query, and it'll take a while to generate. And we're waiting down here. We're waiting for our query. And what we're doing is we're querying the cloud. So Shodan's a cloud scanner, and we're clearing the cloud looking for these IIS 4.0 web servers. And there shouldn't be any of these left today. In reality, there shouldn't be. But unfortunately, there probably is. So, and they've got a lot of different scans in here we can do. You got some password, anonymous scans, all those types of things. So all this information we can pick up with our surveillance. So this is what we do in our red team environment. If we were hired to do this, we start looking here. Well, here's one, right, in Las Vegas. It's HTTP, and they're running ASP 4.0, but they've got IIS 8.0. So that's not an IIS 4.0, that's an IIS 8.0. But they're a web guard, unfortunately, a school district, IIS 4.0. So again, understand that this shouldn't be found anywhere on the internet, but that's why the power of surveillance. When we use surveillance, we can do these scans and we can look for this information once we discover a vulnerability, looking at different vulnerability resources and references we have. And this concludes the lab on surveillance.